Good morning, people of the grid. It is Friday. It's noonish. We've had breakfast and brunch. I've got to load up the stuff, all of our stuff, into the Model X now. I've got it warming up. It's warm. It's ready to go. And I've got it charging too. So we're going to make it home with plenty of range left. It's just getting all the stuff back in, which it's a little less than we came here with. So shouldn't be that hard. Oh, my brother-in-law Barry, he's out flying the drone, so I'm going to go find him too. So Cora's nice and toasty inside. I'm going to start loading up now. The front trunk is loaded up. All right, I think it's all loaded up. The big test. It's not all loaded up. Now it's loaded up. Well, that was a bit of an adventure. Barry was flying the drone around and lost communication with the drone. It basically took a direction and took off. We were able to locate it though. It had last known coordinates, and then we used the tool inside the Karma controller that sort of leads you to a drone, and it did in this case. We found it. All is good. Well, guys, we are underway heading back home. It's the first time we've sat back in Cora since Monday, so almost 4 full days have gone by. And she's been sitting outside in the freezing cold. It's minus 25 degrees Celsius right now.
Yeah.
And some of us are colder than others because we went on a little drone recovery mission. But we recovered it. And we're heading home. We have a trip of 145 kilometers and about an hour and a half. And it looks like, what's it going to eat up? Probably, it's going to eat up half of our range to do that. I think it'll eat up even a little more because we're going to go nice and toasty warm. Oh, and it just got colder.
Minus 26, yeah.
Did you guys have a nice time away from home?
Yeah, it was awesome.
It's always fun visiting the cousins. Yeah, my current utilization is like 527 watt hours per kilometer.
520, yeah. And we warmed it up before we left too.
It's going to go down. I mean, that was when we were running, heating everything, like windshield wipers, mirrors, steering wheel. That's the nice thing about the cold weather package. You can heat everything. One thing that doesn't get heated in an electric car is the engine compartment. So if you have ice on the front of the car, it won't melt like in a...
Yeah, on your hood? That's right, on a regular car. Our front hood, it's got some stuff frozen to it.
Yeah, so it'll get all icy and crusty. It actually looks really cool.
So we're underway. We're going to make it no problem. We got plenty of range. We are actually nice and hot in here. When we get home, I'm going to clean off all the snow of the Leaf, and I'm going to get it up and running too. When I left it on Monday, on Christmas Day, I left it with 9 out of 12 bars of energy, and right now it's down to 4 out of 12. So it used 5 bars of energy just keeping its own battery warm. So I'll clean it off. I'll take it for a quick drive and warm up the battery a touch, and then we'll plug it back in. But it's weathering this cold weather nicely too, so yeah.
One other thing we might want to mention about the Tesla, when it's this cold out, is in the axis the huge windshield. Just that it takes more energy to keep it warm because it's a heat sink, right? So you got to run the hot defrost over it to keep it defrosted, because even look right now, it's foggy out.
Yeah, that's right. So if you have a Model X in super cold weather like we're seeing right now,
and we're talking minus 25
minus
Celsius.
25 Celsius, you will use a lot of energy because you're going to be defrosting that whole big piece of glass, and that big piece of glass gets chilly and fogged up.
So we run the hot defrost. We run the hot defrost cycle.
Yeah, because you like it nice and warm.
Well, and because that's what works at this temperature to keep the window defrosted.
Yep. So our windshield is being cleared. It's all defrosted now. Still got a little bit of ice on the outside, but it's minus 26 out there.
Yeah, so heated defrost is definitely the way to go when when it's this cold out and preheating.
Yep.
Otherwise, you just can't get warm in the car because you got to be using all your energy to defrost the window.
That's right.
Preheat on power.
Preheat is the way to go on power.
Yeah, on shore power for sure.
Oh, thanks, Barry, for the power. All right, guys, we made it back to Calgary. We are here. We still got tons of range left. Like we said, we're toasty warm. Windshield is all defrosted, which is nice. It's interesting, though, because it's so cold. Most of the trip was, what, minus 25?
At least, yeah.
So minus 25 degrees Celsius. At that temperature, we drove a total of 153 kilometers, and we started out with about 400. So let's say 400 minus the 150, we should still have...
250.
Thanks, guys. We should still have 250 kilometers in there. We don't. We only have 100 kilometers. So that 150-ish kilometers got eaten up by the cold weather. That's what happens. I mean, you go into this kind of knowing that and you plan for it. We warmed up the battery before we left, so we didn't have to use even more energy keeping the car warm. We drove through snow and cold weather, and that's what eats up that stuff.
Yeah, so I mean, that's what we expect is like between 30 and 50% utilization.
Yeah.
Overage because of the cold weather, depending on how cold.
And you didn't slow down. Like, we drove the speed limit all the way back, so...
And the roads were a little icy, so there'd be some...
We didn't do anything, exceptional that you wouldn't do in any other car, so...
Absolutely.
Tammy's got one more errand to do today. I'm going to get us a tea here, and then we'll be home for the night. Ooh, and I'm going to get the leaf running. All right, we made it home. We got everything unloaded. The girls are inside cleaning up. Ethan is shoveling the driveway. I'm going to dig out the leaf. It's literally buried in snow, and it's got a big snowbank that it's got to make it through to get out. So, yeah, we'll get it unstuck. We'll take it for a bit of a drive. By the way, look at that. So there's that snowbank. I got to get it over. That's what a frozen leaf looks like. It hasn't been driven in 2 weeks. It's been sitting out in minus 20 degrees Celsius or colder temperatures, but it's still alive under all that snow. Well, the saga continues. We got the leaf uncovered of snow. We unplugged it. It was low on power. I was running heat in it, and I think I used up whatever battery was remaining because it refused to go into drive. So I think what I'm going to do is I got it plugged back in. I'm going to charge it back up, and I'll tackle that tomorrow. Thank you for cleaning up the house, Melissa. Mm-hmm. So it's a big year for Ethan because he's got Black Ops on the PS4. Oh. Yeah, our little guy's all grown up. Now he's playing shooting games. We're back home. Everybody's settled in. Some of them are in pajamas. Some are not. I've got to get Ethan to the theater here in a bit, so we're going to go do that. And then we're just kind of recovering from Christmas. We got to put stuff away and clean stuff up in our house. The tree stays up until the new year, so that's not going anywhere, but there is some cleanup. Hey, you look nice and comfy in your beanbag chair.
Yeah, and I'm wearing my owl pajamas, so I'm an owl.
Nice. How is it?
It's fun.
You like it?
Spin?
Yep. Well, Melissa, you're good.
Well, I can't go that fast because I don't want to crash.
You got great balance. Well, we're back home. We dropped Ethan off at the movie theater with his buddies. He's going to catch a ride home later. It's unbelievable that the temperature difference outside, it's still minus 25 degrees Celsius. Inside the car, I've got it at 23 degrees Celsius. It's toasty warm in here, freezing cold outside. Just the way it should be. I'm in the Leaf. I got it unstuck. I couldn't let my little buddy stay stuck here. When I sat in it earlier and I tried to put it in gear, it just refused to even move. I think it knew its juice was too low to even bother. So I plugged them in, got 5 battery bars right now. And Oh yeah, the car's running fine. I cannot believe it. 2 weeks in minus 20 degrees Celsius or colder. This thing not only starts up, but it's ready to go for a ride. So I'm going to take it for a quick spin. Oh my gosh, guys.
What?
One wheel. I rode it a little bit in the house today. I want to ride it so bad. All I've been doing is watching videos of other people riding their one wheels. I am so excited.
Why?
Why, you ask? Why?
I did ask why.
I just got the leaf unstuck. Like before, when I hopped in, I think because I'd ran the heat and we were cleaning all the snow off the truck and the leaf, by the time I got in, I had used up all the power in the leaf. So when I put it into gear, it didn't want to move. So I was just a teeny bit worried, especially because it got a note that said contact dealer. That's never good. So I plugged it in. We went and dropped Ethan off. We sat around for a bit. I went back to the Leaf just now after I put the Light Runner in the garage. It had 5 battery bars. So I started it. It started up just fine.
Oh, good.
And then I took it for a spin. It was at 0 battery bars for battery temperature. So the battery was cold, but I rocked it.
Yeah.
And I got it unstuck. Like in that deep snow out there,
wow.
I got it unstuck. It's unbelievable. It's super deep.
Is there a car behind you still?
No, that guy had moved, so
That helps.
I got some momentum. I got it out, and then I went for a drive around, and I drove it like I owned it, like I stole it.
So you spun it around and did donuts?
Well, little leaf donuts, but you got to do them backwards so the front end swings out. But I drove it hard because I wanted to warm up the battery. Fastest way to warm up an electric car's battery, drive it hard. So I drove the Leaf hard. I got 1 bar of battery temperature on it, so it is warming up. And then I just brought it home. And while I was here, I used it as a little snow plow to
Poor Leaf.
pack down the snow in his parking
It
spot.
still has to run when he turns 16.
That car, I love that car. That car, it doesn't
It's a
quit.
fun little car.
It's not a quitter, the Leaf.
Ew.
What we're going to do is get in our pajamas, and I think we're going to watch either this, Valerian, or Ghost in the Machine, or
Ghost in the Shell.
this, or maybe we'll watch all of them. That's what we're going to do. All right, guys, stay warm out there. We're going into Saturday. It's the weekend for most of you. I'm still off. The kids are still off. Tammy's off.
The kids were so excited. They just found out they have another week. They thought they only had 3 days left.
Yeah.
So they were really surprised.
Now they get to play with their toys that they left behind here at home.
Yeah.
All right. Miker and Tammy
Out.
out.